Go ahead, Dan.
Coach Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. What did you see at the start of the third quarter? It looked like the intensity waned from the way you guys closed the first half.
That's what it was. I think, they came out with a level of intensity, to try to push it back up. And same thing happened last time we were there in Los Angeles. Our guys coming out of the halftime, understanding, we have to turn our level of intensity up. Obviously taking care of the basketball is going to be huge, giving up points in transition. But again, these are some things that we're going to have to continue to work on and continue to look at and understand why, coming out of that third, we have to continue to get better.
Jamahl, how is Cole? He seems to be less assertive in some of his shots and just some of his actions out there. How is he doing? Is he, completely healthy and fine?
Well, the one thing that they're doing with Cole is obviously he's been such a focal point, and the guys are picking him up. There's a ton more ball pressure, and what we're trying to do is just relieve some of that pressure from him by playing off the elbows, motion game, moving it to the second side. But again, they put some great defenders on him, speeding him up, trying to make him speed his game up more than he needs to. But again, he's finding his way in that regard of just trying to figure out where he can find his spots.
Coach, sorry about that. You've talked about how going through experiences, you learn from them, and the next time you're in those situations, you do better in them. This back-to-back games now where the team had a halftime lead, it's a fairly sizable halftime lead, and kind of give it away early in the third. What's sort of maybe the disconnect in kind of learning these lessons and getting through these experiences and coming out better the next time that they see them, or is this just part of the growing process?
Well, that's it right there. Just understanding how you have to come out in the half, whether you're up or you're down, you have to make the same statement that you started with the beginning of the game with. Understand that teams, if they're down, they're going to come out to try to punch you in the mouth right away. If they're up, they're going to understand that we got to throw our first punch going at it. So understanding how we come out of halftime in a lot of these situations, and we'll look at it, we'll talk about it, and obviously work on these things and how we can be better.
Coach, you mentioned before the game how teams defend Terrence and how that opens up opportunities for others on offense. How much did the game change when he went out, and do you have any update on his status, and how much did that affect the depth and the rotation tonight?
It had some effect on the game again, and so we were recognizing how they were playing him. So he got a couple openings for Dell on some rolls to the rim as they blitzed him. His recognition on some of the passes began. So he's going to be day to day. He'll get evaluated here after the game, but. Again, it changed the rotation a little bit, but our guys understand that we talk about next man up mentality, being ready to go as you step in the game.
Coach, what did you see from Jalen tonight? Obviously, he had a career high 22, but did a lot of that work in the first half. Struggled maybe a little bit after that kind of scary fall that he had. But what did you see from Jalen and the way that he was seeing the game, and the way that maybe he adjusted as well in the second half there as the defense?
Well, the level of his being decisive in his decision making, either attacking the rim or trying to find. Again, they go to the switching package, and us holding the basketball, kind of got us stagnant quite a bit. But again, our ability to attack the paint and get to the rim, and what Jalen was doing was getting downhill. Obviously, shooting 10 free throws. That's something that we've asked him to do, and then obviously making the pass when he's open, and then making sure, or when other guys are open, making sure he finds the easy pass.
Were there any real effects from the fall that you took late in the first half?
I don't believe so. I think he's a tough kid, So I think he handled it well.
Prior to the game, we were talking about Franz, and you were saying he kind of was reading and reacting and would let the aggression come back to him. What did you see from him tonight in that regard? He shot better, and he hit his 3 points.
I think he was being more, again, like we talked about it before the game, he's being a little bit more patient. He wasn't rushing it, wasn't trying to chase the shots as much. Again, he getting downhill. I like the guys getting to the paint, trying to attack the mismatches as well as some of the early seals on the big. So I think he did a very good job of trying to find his space and his way in there.
You've been starting the three-guard lineup of Jalen, Cole, and Gary past couple games. They've also been playing more together even before starting. I guess, what have you seen from that group that you like? And I guess, what do you want to see from that trio?
Well, I think we're just going to continue to grow and build on their decision making. You have guys that are decision makers in that from that regard. Like we can move the ball side to side. You have guys that attack the rim, attack the paint. Gary does a good job of just making sure he's just stepping into his shot openly, and then again the ball getting into the paint, which I love. You know, between Gary and Jalen, and then Cole getting downhill and being able to find ways to spray it out to the perimeter.
Hey, Coach, we already talked about Franz, very efficient night tonight, but only 9 shots. Would you like to see him get more shots up, be more assertive, or how does that fit as far as within the game plan?
Well, the pace of the game is going to dictate some of that. I believe like he's running in transition. We've got to look to throw the ball ahead more. And then obviously LeBron was on him at times, making sure there was some denial situations, switching on him, making sure it was limiting his touches. And we tried to put him in a couple actions. And again, they did a great job. Credit to them for blowing some of those actions up to keep the ball out of his hands.
Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you, guys.
Wendell, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. What did you see at the start of the third quarter? It looked like the intensity that you guys closed the first half with didn't carry over to the start of the second.
Man, I feel like as a team, that's something that we're kind of struggling with now. I feel like we're hanging in with a lot of these teams, but in third quarters, I don't know if it's an energy thing, if it's a mentality thing. Including myself, when I was healthy and I was playing, started those third quarters, we was coming out flat, and we had to find, within the players. I don't think it's a coach's thing at all. Within the players, we have to learn that these great teams they play well in the third. They set the tone for the rest of the game in the third, and I think that's something we have to do a better job of dictating. What we can control, which is getting stops on defense. And even if we're not making shots defensively, and defensive rebounding is something that, we have to stay consistent with. Because, like I said, third quarters is where teams like to establish their identity for the rest of the game.
Wendell, because this issue has been ongoing throughout the season, has the messaging, whether it's from a player, from a coach, changed at halftime? Because has been a repeated issue. You guys coming out in the third quarter, and thanks for.
Yeah, from the coach's standpoint, they've told us like do what you have to do to be ready for the third. Like I said, I'm not about throwing any coaches under the bus. Like we're grown men. We're in this league. Like third quarters. You go out there, you got to be ready to play. Like we can't really put that on anybody but ourselves. And I feel like. We just have to do a better job of that. Like I even get this sense of like we don't got no swagger going into that third quarter. No like juice. And I feel like everybody's different and people gotta find a way, including myself. I'm not trying to like go at any of my teammates, like including myself, like third quarters is where we're struggling. We're winning first quarters, we're winning second quarter, we're even winning fourth quarters. That third quarter is something that we have to change as a group, a certain mentality we gotta go out with.
Melissa Thomas here, Florida National News. Outside of what you just mentioned in terms of the third quarter part, what areas of opportunity have you seen for yourself heading into the next game that you want to improve on?
Taking my shots when they're there. On the offensive end and defensively, I feel like you can always be better. I'm gonna go back and watch the film. Sometimes I was a little late on rotations. Sometimes my timing was off on some of my rebounds and things like that. For myself, that's definitely something that going into the next game, I'm gonna focus on a little bit more, and that's really about it.
Obviously, the result isn't what you want to see, but for yourself coming back into the kind of flow of things after such a relatively long absence, how did you feel out there? It seemed like you were making a huge energy impact on the game when you came in there in the first quarter.
I knew that I had the minute restriction going into the game, and I just tried to make an immediate impact. I didn't play around with the game. I kind of tried to, establish my identity in the game for my personal self, and then just to help my team, get over that hump. Because I knew, like I said, like the third quarter is something that we're having difficulty with. So, I just tried to provide that juice for my team. Even when I came in the third quarter, I tried to change things up. That's really about it. I felt pretty good. Wasn't tired or anything like I thought I would be. So yeah, I feel good.
Wendell, as a big man, I've got to ask, two legendary Orlando Magic centers were in the arena tonight. A couple questions. Have you ever met or had any interactions with Shaquille O'Neal and talked, basketball or anything about being center in the NBA and being from Atlanta? Was Dwight Howard someone as you were coming up that you looked up to?
Yeah, for sure, both. First on with Shaq, I mean, he, his name kind of speaks for itself. He kind of established the identity for the Orlando Magic early. He kind of gave Orlando a basketball identity. And I mean, I give a lot of praise to that. I haven't actually been able to sit down and actually talk to him. That's something I definitely want to do now that I'm in Orlando. I'm sure he lives around here somewhere. So, I'll try to reach out to him, maybe try to, talk to him a little bit. And then Dwight being from Atlanta, I always watched him growing up, from his AAU days. And I knew he was going to be something special. And when he came to Orlando, he kind of, piggybacked off what Shaq did before him. So, I've been able to talk to him a little bit. When we went out and played in LA, I was able to talk to him, be able to pick his brain, what he felt like now that he's, a veteran in this league and he's kind of looking at it from a different perspective. And, he gave me a couple pointers and, especially playing in Orlando, he, told me, how he felt about the organization and what he did while he was here to make the team successful.
Very good. Thank you.
Jalen Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. What did you see at the start of the third quarter? The intensity level looked like it dropped off a little bit from the way you guys closed out the first half.
We talked about it all year, coming out with intensity in the third quarter and being better in the third quarter. And that's been apparent. And, we're not able to come out and, ease our way back into it, especially when, we're up on the team and we play a great first half, knowing they're going to come out being aggressive and, ready to make a run. So, I mean, we talked about it. We just got to execute it a little bit better. But I think overall, we played a great 3 quarters. We played a great 36 minutes. Really on 40, it was just, that first half of that third quarter, they're getting what they wanted offensively. They were comfortable and, we were playing a bit slower than we had wanted to, and then we had in the first half. But, we talked about it, we continue to adjust that and, figure out ways to fix that and, keep it moving.
Jalen, how are you feeling? You took one big ball early in the game, they caught not also that, but you seem like you're on the ground a lot throughout the game. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm telling you, I've taken more hits in basketball than football, I promise. But I'm okay. Part of the game, part of being aggressive. Like I said, we had talked about mindset and attacking the rim, with intent. Not going searching for a foul or anything like that. That's just going to happen sometimes, but, that's part of the process, attacking the rim, showing the league, showing everybody that, that's what I'm about when I get down there. And, I survived it. I feel okay. So we're all good.
Jalen, you finished with a new career high and did most of your work there in the first half. What did you see that kind of enabled you to get off to that quick start?
Again, just talking about being aggressive. I think we were able to get a lot of easy ones and a lot of ones in transition or attacking the defense wasn't set. And that was big for us in the first half. The pace that we played with, I thought was great. And I think that's, some of the best halves of basketball we've played so far this season. But again, it's just continuing to build on that, and sustaining that. I think guys did a great job at knocking down shots, being in the right places. Our spacing was amazing. And I was able to find them on kickouts. And, we talked about getting to the paint, and causing an issue. It's not to score every time, but, draw the defense in. So we have spray outs and things like that and cuts. So, I think just looking to build on the things that we did and didn't do tonight. But, I'm proud of everybody tonight, the way that we fought.
Jalen, Melissa Thomas here for Florida National News. How did it feel to have Coach Mosley back here at home, being able to play under him again?
It was great. Coach Mosley's energy is, second to none. I love how we can have conversations throughout the game, talk about what's going on, what he sees, what I see, bounce ideas off each other. So it's great to have him back. Great to have Coach Nate back on the bench, you know, and continue to feed off everybody's energy. You know, that core that we have, you know, starting with the coaching staff is amazing. You know, I think they bring the energy every day. You know, they provide us with the juice, and, you know, everyone on the team really feeds off that. So it's great to have him back.
Jalen, we've heard Coach Mosley talk about how, you know, each experience that you guys are in is a learning opportunity, a chance to get better the next time you see it. Had 2 straight games now where that third quarter has been a big factor after you guys built a bit of a lead. What are you learning in those situations, and how do you see this team kind of progressing along that, even if the results aren't there quite yet?
I think the biggest thing that I learned, you know, is time score situation. You know, I think in the third quarter, especially myself, you know, just settling for threes, you know, you know, not making the defense work. You know, and they were sagging back. They weren't having to play defense, you know, especially in those first 6 minutes, and that allowed them to have, you know, full going offense because they weren't playing defense on their end. So, you know, adjusting to those things and, you know, figuring out, all right, we shot a couple of threes in a row. Let's get to the basket now. You know, let's try to get a foul. Let's try to get the easy one, things like that. You know, are the biggest things that I've learned.
Jalen, you guys have had a lot of travel early in the season to now have a home stretch. Just how nice can that be for you guys to get in a rhythm, to have some practice time, which may have escaped you guys early in the year? Oh,
it's great. I mean, first you get to sleep in your own bed. I mean, that's my favorite part. But again, like you said, it allows us to get in the gym, allows us to be home. You know, no travel, you know, means you can get good rest, things like that. So, you know, I think this is a big stretch for us, you know, as we've gotten to learn on the road these past couple games, past couple weeks, you know, where we've had some close ones. You know, so to build on that, you know, as we're at home now, we have a stretch, you know, to try to snag a couple here.
Jalen, it seemed like you were having some fun with the fans throughout the game today. I guess for you as a player, how does it feel, you know, to have that kind of environment in your own building?
Oh, it feels great. You know, to feed off that energy is amazing. Something that I've loved to do, you know, since I started playing, you know, from middle school, high school, you know, didn't have it in college, but, you know, and then this year, you know, to have energy, you know, full crowd, you know, everybody cheering, you know, it's loud on runs. I love it, you know, and getting to talk to them and all that's part of the experience. So, you know, I think we just continue to build on what we've been doing. Get back in the gym tomorrow, or, you know, whenever we're back in, watch film, learn, and keep it pushing. But I think, you know, we're doing a lot of good things out there, and, you know, it's just now starting to key in on the little things. You know, I think we've got the big picture stuff, you know, that we've really honed in on. You know, now we got to really start to get the minute details.
Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Wendell.